Moving on to the final bit of body work, we're going to start with the grill. Trying to clean these up here, and I'm having flashbacks to how I got that scar on my thumb. I got a tool just for this and I forgot all about it. So I'm just going to use a round needle file to clean all that up in there. Later on I switched to a half round file just because it's wider and I can do it a lot quicker. This was still not fitting that well. I realized that there was a little lip inside there that was preventing it from seating all the way. I had almost over sanded that grill insert. So just pay attention, guys. If two parts don't fit, adjust two parts. If you follow this light beam, yeah, right there, you can see that's a nice smooth seam now. Finally, I'm just going to use some panel line accent just to get down in the low spots and make the grill look not so chrome. This took about 3 different attempts to get the look I was looking for. This stuff does not dry as dark as it goes on, so just keep that in mind. And in between those attempts, I also did the same thing to the headlight surrounds and added some orange to simulate the side markers. And I don't want these headlights getting all foggy from glue, so I'm using this UV resin stuff that I like to use for clear parts. Also take note that the headlights are serrated just like the real ones, so make sure you got them clocked in there right so that they look appropriate. The grill fits so well that I had forgot to glue it in. And I didn't realize it until it popped out when I was installing the chassis pan. And just like in every other video I made, with my clear parts I like to saw them off from the sprues. Because if you use sprue cutters, it's very violent and you have a good chance at cracking them. I included this bit here so you can see why my fingernails are always so dirty. It's because I use them as tools. I also got a pro tip for y'all. Do not sand over microfiber because you will eventually use them to wipe down your car, and all the little sand, dust, particle things are just going to cause scratches. I don't know why I kept that green one down there so long. So I'm gonna have to throw it away because it is just full of dust particles. Contrary to what I just said about the headlights, I am going to use Super Gold Plus to glue in the windscreen. From what I could tell, the interior tub kind of presses against it, and I'm afraid it's going to pop out eventually, because the UV resin, even though it dries super clear, it's not very strong. It does a good job at holding things in place, but it's not very structural. And I use Super Gold Plus because it does not fog up clear parts like a regular super glue does. But it is a super glue, so it's already ready to be worked. And I will use this to glue in the side windows. I just repeat for the other side. And once it's all glued in, I just give them all a little tap to make sure they're not going anywhere. Because I don't really know how long I need to hold the UV on there to get this to set up. I still have not done any official testing. I did a lot of test fitting with this chassis since it is not an original part. And I found it best to let the interior tub kind of just float in place and not glue it in. And this is also going to be the last time you're going to have access to inside the car, so make sure you get any dust out, wipe any fingerprints off, just make it nice and clean in there. As I mentioned, I'm not gluing this in. That's because I want it to fit to the windows, the actual body, and not have it rigidly mounted to this chassis pan that does not fit that well. And I had thought that since these big old tires tuck up underneath the body very well, that I'd have to install them before I did all this. In my preference, I like to install the tires as the very last thing, just so I have room to get my fingers up in there, pull the body out, do any twisting, manipulating I need to do to make the chassis fit. But I had to end up taking them off anyway, just to make room for them. But luckily, they could still be installed with the body and the chassis menu together. It's closed, but it can be done. Remember how I said I forgot to glue that in? Well, this is whenever I realized I forgot to glue it in. Now I got both bumpers glued in, and I got the tires installed. This chassis pan fits a little bit better than I had originally thought. It just requires a lot of work and a lot of glue. With all 4 tires glued on, I can test to make sure it sets level. And I do that just by getting a flat surface and pressing on all 4 corners. We're good to go here. And I'd wanted to do this as one of the very last steps because I knew I do a lot of handling and I didn't want any of that Molotov chrome pin to rub off. It's not very durable. And I did a terrible job masking, so I kind of made a mess I gotta clean up. This was being a bit more stubborn than usual, so I just got some condensation from my tea, got that Q-tip wet, and it came right off. I like to use a Sharpie for this stuff because when it dries it's very durable, but it's also transparent enough to be a convincing taillight. Another reason I like to use it is because if you make a mistake, it's very easy to just wipe off before it dries. The last thing I'm going to do here before we wrap this up is I'm just going to go over everything, do some panel line accent to darken it up. Then give it a final wipe down to get rid of all my fingerprints, throw a coat of wax on it, and it's done. I got some photography advice from my wife, so here are some professional type photos of it done. And that's another car build done. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who likes to build models. Get them inspired.